And welcome to a new episode of Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. As you all know, folks, over there on Hulu, they had one of their biggest premieres in that streaming service's history, and that was Prey. Prey is the prequel to the Predator films. It's based in the 1700s. A Comanche young lady who's a warrior, or wanting to be a warrior, is the main protagonist. I've heard nothing but good things. Haven't seen it yet. Hopefully I'll get to see it here soon. But we're going to talk about the original VHS releases of the original two films. Of course, we're going to start with Schwarzenegger's Predator. And then, of course, we're going to talk about one of the most unappreciated sequels, in my estimate, folks. Predator 2, which starred Danny Glover, Bill Paxton, Gary Busey. I mean, great ensemble cast. We're going to talk more about it here soon. So, let's get with it. Alright, everyone. Predator, which starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, also co-starred another future governor, Jesse the Body Ventura, Carl Weathers, who was known for his role as Apollo Creed in the Rocky films, and a bunch of great character actors. But one of the characters, who has the same name as I do, was Billy, played by Shane Black, who would go on and create such great characters like the Lethal Weapon franchise, and go on to direct great films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Lucky Guys, and he actually went on, I think he also co-wrote The Monster Squad. And then, of course, he went on to write and direct, and co-write his own Predator film that came out a few years ago called The Predator. But we're going to talk about this is the 1988 release. The film came out in 87. This was a CBS Fox home video release. As everybody knows, those CBS Fox was always great at, like Columbia RCA home video, making it look like, it would belong in a library, and that it had a theme to it, and something that it lost, like in the early 90s, and when they changed names to Fox Home Entertainment and all that stuff. But anyway, of course, always thought this poster looked cool. Kind of got a POV of the Predator's heat vision. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a man back in them days. And now, he kind of lives in his home with his animals that wander around his house, donkeys or cows or whatever. But, I do have to say, the older he got, the zanier and funnier he got too, folks. But, of course, you'll see it's still here the same way, the same font, same way on the top. So CBS Fox home video was always really good at making their live home video library feel like a library. So, okay, we're going to go look in the back with the old look. Of course, you have Schwarzenegger up face to face with the Predator. Sadly, the guy who played the Predator in this film and then the second one, he passed away due to having HIV. Of course, a lot of people we lost back in them days with that dreadful virus. Of course, Schwarzenegger in his prime. And, this is one of those horror sci-fi films, that were really coming into its own. That got started, I just had to say, kind of got started a renaissance with Alien. And then, of course, Aliens that came out a few years before. And, of course, Predator and Aliens now share the same universe in the early 2000s with the Alien vs. Predator movies. But it was directed by John McTiernan, who was also director of Die Hard and Die Hard 3, and also he probably directed a few guys in prison when he went in for, I can't remember what crime he went in. It was nothing really serious. It was more or less something misdemeanor-wise. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, of course, you got the fonts and then the FBI logo here that was plaguing everybody at the beginning of these VHSs. And, of course, you have the traditional CBS Fox sticker. They never really had the side stickers. That's something I always different about them compared to others. But yeah, it was a great time when it came to this movie. When it was new and fresh and it was something different, and you were seeing guys who were pretty popular at the time kind of getting killed off. You didn't think you'd see Apollo Creed. Well, you saw him get killed in Rocky IV. Spoiler alert. But the manner that he got. But again, great ensemble. You didn't know whether or not, what was going to happen to the character, Dutch, played by Schwarzenegger. I mean, he came in a confident, strong man, and at the end, you can tell by the end of this, he was very damaged. And, we're going to suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder from this. All right. Now, I got to be a little biased. I've always loved this poster. I loved how this poster was. I'll show you what the back of it in a minute. But I never liked the theatrical posters that they were, promoting the movie in theaters. It's like they just didn't know how to market this film. Easy. You put the Predator on there. You do something Predator-like, But again, this had a great ensemble cast. Predator 2, to me, one of the most underrated sequels in the world. In theaters and movies, period. It was just so fun to watch. And of course, by this time, they're still doing the CBS Fox home video library, which is actually rare because most copies now you'll find will either say Fox Select on it or it will say Fox Home Video on the side. So, this is kind of a rare thing. By then, they stopped using the color schemes and the designs that they were used for since the beginning of the early 80s. You see this Predator 2 font is up there. But again, you see the city of Los Angeles. It looks like a heat wave going on. You kind of got that motif of the Predator's heat vision color codes on there. And again, the movie really got powered by the cast. I mean, it was a great cast. Of course, you see Danny Glover, one of the great actors that come out of the 90s and the late 80s. And Gary Busey, one of the most charismatic and craziest actors in the world. The guy has 9 lives. Of course, you see that picture of the Predator right there. It's played by the same guy. I cannot remember his name who played him. But, that was the poster. That was what the poster for the movies were going to be. And it was just, it could have been more. I don't know. It was just me, I guess, being a little picky. But, of course, it came out in 1990. Written by the same guys who wrote the original Predator. And this time it was directed by Stephen Hopkins. But, of course, you had Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Ruben Blades, Maria Camacho Alfonso. I butchered her name, I know that. She sadly has passed away. Bill Paxton, of course, he too has passed away. Robert Davi. And, of course, Alan Silvestri came back to do the music. But you could tell this was an Alan Silvestri. He'd done Back to the Future and just about everything that Robert Zemeckis has done. But great composer. And, of course, Stan Winston came back to work on the Predator costume and makeup. Little known fact, though, when it came to Predator 1, which I'm going to tell you here in a little bit, but of course you can see that all the FBI warnings still down there, and it's still come out similar, but they're a little more, I guess you would say, a little more posh when it came to the design work on the covers. And take the covers off. And you'll see that by then they were doing the purple, like a violet green color scheme on the stickers. And they were getting ready to change up, change everything to Fox Home Entertainment because the deal with CBS and all that stuff was going down. Again, still no side stickers. You'll never see that happen. But also to let you know, you can see that now says 20th Century Studios. 20th Century Studios was its original name, and then of course Fox and them merged, then became 20th Century Fox, and of course we all know Disney has bought the studio outright and changed its name back to 20th Century Studios. But little side note, folks. Anyway, folks, this movie, I love both films. I mean, I'm not too harsh on all the other Predator films, but, they weren't as good as Predator. I mean, Predator 2 and Predator 1 were just to me, it worked. And the fact that you'd had different cast and different stories that didn't have to necessarily reflect. I mean, it'd be great if Arnold Schwarzenegger came back and did another Predator film, but again, it just wasn't needed. It really wasn't needed. Gary Busey's character was rewritten because it was originally supposed to be Dutch coming back. But again, I mean, I couldn't see Schwarzenegger, then getting killed off in Predator 2. All right, well, now to the little side story. Jean-Claude Van Damme actually was supposed to be the Predator. And for some reason, I guess the costume was going to look different as well. And it just, he and the director or something, producers, just were not getting along. And of course, Joel Silver, who was, the master, producer of a lot of action films, who produced these films, it's either his way or the highway. So, but again, I didn't know people knew, I'm sure some people knew that Jean-Claude Van Damme himself became a famous movie star and action star in his own right, was supposed to originally be the Predator. We would have had a Schwarzenegger versus Van Damme show off in the first one if it happened, but we did it. All right, folks. Well, again, what is your thoughts on these movies? Did you see them on VHS? What was your first reaction when you saw these now classic films? Again, I said, if you hadn't checked out Predator 2 yet, do check it out. Great ensemble cast. It's I think it can stand side by side as it is right now next to the original film. But tell me, folks, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's down around there, that button. And, of course, notification bell if you do so for all updates and uploads that come on this channel. And, folks, of course, it's getting time for Halloween. So we're going to be breaking out some Halloween-themed episodes as soon as I can. And again, folks, thank you all for watching this channel and watching this show. I have so much fun talking about this. And I know this is being the last season of physical media format. And I'm, say it right now, I think by March will probably be when the last episode will air. So I'm actually going to be filming it soon just to have it done and ready to go. But I'm going to try to get as much as VHS, good VHSs to review to you guys as possible, and also be doing some exclusive videos on Facebook as well on my Facebook page. All right, folks. Well, that's it for this episode of Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. Again, if you haven't yet, do subscribe and share this video throughout social media, folks. It helps out a lot. I really, really like to, try to do this for, a living, and keep the house payments going. All right, folks. Again, take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching, and please keep on watching. Bye.